Dear friends and colleagues, perhaps I should start this talk by saying how meaningful our encounter today is. We have come together to offer our prayers and supplications, you and us. We are three religious leaders from Abrahamic tradition. Rabbi Julia Margolis, leader and the head of Beit Luria Synagogue in Johannesburg, South Africa. Imam Dr. Taj Hagi, founder and the leader of the Open Mosque in Cape Town, and also provost as well as founder of an Institute for British Islam in Oxford, UK. And of course, your most humble servant, Malchus Ngulashvili, Bishop of a Christian church in the Republic of Georgia. A part of being leaders of these respective religious groups, we're also good friends. When we come together, either in person or in a virtual world, we share our stories, we inspire each other, we encourage each other's ministry. Occasionally, we crack some interface jokes, we laugh a lot, but not today. Today is a time when we think of the suffering brothers and sisters in the Holy Land. Today, three of us are feeling pain, anguish, and also perhaps feeling of helplessness. And therefore, we have decided to come together and invite all of you to join us in prayer for peace and justice. And our motto today is, let peace and justice reign in the Holy Land. We will pray together for all the political leaders, so that they find a way to stop violence and strife, so that both Israelis and Palestinians can live peacefully together. We will also pray all the bereaved, all the injured, all the hurt today. I will offer you a word from the Judeo-Christian scriptures as a reminder who we are and before whom we stand. The world belongs to God, the earth and all those who dwell in it. How good and pleasant it is to live together in harmony. Love and faith come together. Justice and peace meet each other. Amen.
Amen.
May I ask Rabbi Julia Margolis, representing Beth Luria community and also the ancient Jewish tradition in this meeting, to lead us in prayer and meditation.
Thank you very much, Bishop. Sha'alu shalom Yerushalayim, Esh'ilo havav. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו, ברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גואלתנו, והגן עליה בעברת חסדך, ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך. Our God and God of our ancestors, our Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, may you be with the state of Israel at this very difficult time. May the time that will be now, it's a time of hope for all who seek peace. Shield your people, all your people, beneath your wings of your love. Spread over all of us the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise. Guide them in your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. I would like also to read from Psalm 29, Mizmor LeDavid. Avu le'Adonai v'nei elim, avu le'Adonai kavod va'oz, avu le'Adonai kavod shmo, ishtachavu le'Adonai behadrat kodesh. And the verse 11 is very meaningful one. It says, Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. God will give strength to all his people. God will bless his people with peace. And we all want that this situation will finish as soon as possible. And unfortunately, on both sides, there were people, innocent people that were murdered, people that are wounded. And I would like to offer a prayer for healing to all those who are wounded. נשברך אבותינו ואמותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך את כל החולים. הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא רחמים עליהם, וישלח להם מהרה רפואה שלמה מן השמיים, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say, Amen. And may the memory of all those who were killed be always for a blessing. Creator of the universe, I turn to you with eyes that have become blinded to the glorious light, with ears that are deaf to the glorious music, with heart that is sore and heavy in my chest. The path ahead is swallowed by fog of despair. I turn to you, God, in the shame of these depths, knowing that they are buried treasures for which I have lost the map. Take my hand and lead me out of the darkness, out of shadows. Open my eyes to your love and your support, O God. Open my ears to the music that can lift my heart. I turn it over to you, my soul, and ask for you to be there, so close at hand. When my cares are many, your comfort cheers my soul. From Psalm 94. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi Margolis. May I ask Imam Dr. Taj Hagi to lead us in prayer and meditation.
Thank you, Bishop Malchus, and also for Rabbi Julia for organizing this event. I think it's very important given the tragedy that's unfolding in the Holy Land today. But from the Islamic perspective, there's nothing more important than the belief in one God, strict divine unity. But closely allied to that is the quest for justice. Justice in Islam is very, very important. And the Quran gives us a template, a rubric, how to live. We need to give charity. We have to be kind, truthful, forgiving, merciful, and we need to avoid greed and not to transgress divine limits and everything that harms one's soul and the community. So we actually have a template for peace. But alongside peace is justice. And we need to be just towards ourselves, of course, but especially towards others, just as God is just towards us. And when we live in a just society, there will indeed be peace. And this is the essence of true Quranic Islam. And this verse from the Quran that I'll recite now from Surah Al-Nisa, chapter 4, verse 135, elaborates on this. It says, "O you who believe, stand firm in justice, witnesses for God, even if it be against yourselves or your parents or relatives, and whether one is rich or poor. God is more worthy than them. So follow not your personal inclinations, lest you not be just. Indeed, God is ever aware of what you do." So just chapter 4, verse 135. And then the Quran tells us how to be just. It says in Surah Al-Imran, chapter 3, verse 104, "And let there arise from you a band of people, inviting to all that is good, enjoining what is right, and forbidding what is wrong. These will be the truly successful ones." And then it goes further in chapter 5, verse 80, Surah Al-Ma'idah, "O you who believe, stand firm for God, witnesses to justice, and do not let the hatred of one people prevent you from being just. Be just, that is nearer to godliness, and be mindful of God. Indeed, God is fully acquainted with whatever you do." So the Quran here tells us, do not let the hatred of a people prevent you from being just. So Muslims are told, they are commanded that we have to be just to everyone, not just to ourselves, to our foes, to our adversaries, to our enemies, everyone. And then yes, the Quran talks about the right to fight for defensive purposes. You are allowed to fight if you've been driven from your home and if you've been persecuted for your religion. That's in chapter 2, verse 190. But then it says in Surah Anfal, chapter 8, verse 61, that if the enemy incline to peace, then you too incline to it and rely upon God. And indeed, God is all hearing and all knowing. So clearly, there is an incentive for us as Muslims to make peace whenever it's possible. And the Quran reminds us in chapter 7, verse 181 in Surah Al-Araf, "And amongst those we created is a community which guides by truth and thereby establishes justice." Establishes justice. So justice is the basis of coexistence. Justice is the basis of peace. Justice is the basis of living together in harmony and tranquility. And then the Quran tells us a beautiful verse, which is actually the essence of the book. In chapter 49, verse 13, Surah Al-Hujurat, "O humanity, we have created you from a single male and a single female. And then we made you into different tribes and nations so that you may know one another and not despise each other. And verily, the most noble of you in the sight of God are those who are most righteous. Indeed, God is all-knowing and well-acquainted. So here we see that the Quran is talking about all of us, all human beings. Doesn't matter from our religious origins, our cultural roots, our racial provenance, it doesn't matter. We all come from this primordial Adam and Eve, and we are all one. And we are made differently, God says, deliberately, so that we may get to know one another. And then he turns the knife and says, who is the best? No, Muslims are not the best. Who's the best? Jews? No, Jews are not the best. Who's the best? Christians? No, Christians are not the best. The Quran says, surely the best, the most noble of you in the sight of God are those who are most righteous and God-mindedness, as God-mindfulness. So these are the so-called chosen ones. But this type of righteousness, of God-mindfulness, anyone can aspire to it. It's not linked to race, color, class, or whatever. And so the Quran is asking us to come together as Bani Adam, as the children of Adam. And if Muslims do that, come together as children of Adam with everyone else on this planet, and especially in the Holy Land, live together and see if can we come to a just solution in the problems between Palestine and Israel, I think there will be an opportunity. There will be a time for us and for them in the Holy Land to live in enduring peace and have balanced justice for everyone. So this is clearly within the framework of what Quranic Islam propagates. Thank you.
Many thanks, Dr. Taj. Perhaps we should have a minute of silence, remembering all those who were saddened, bereaved, hurt, injured, who are crying for their beloved who have been killed. Across the barriers that divide race from race, reconcile us, God, by your love. Across the barriers that divide the rich from the poor, reconcile us, O God, by your love. Across the barriers that divide people of different faiths, cultures, traditions, reconcile us, O God, by your love. Across the barriers that divide Christians, Muslims, Jews, and others, reconcile us, O God, by your love. Across the barriers that divide men and women, young and old, reconcile us, O God, by your love. Confront us, O God, with the hidden prejudices and fears which deny and betray our prayers. Enable us to see the causes of strife, wars, hatred. Remove from our hearts all false sense of superiority. Teach us to grow in unity with all God's children. Amen.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll end it here.